has there ever been this one time where you didn't like what you did? Where you said that if somebody found out, they'd judge you. This one time, just this one time, one incident, 15-minute incident, that you said you didn't love what you did. And then you said you wouldn't forgive yourself. That may not be you. It could be somebody that you know that needs to hear this. And then what happens is you try to fix your thoughts, you try to overcome emotions, you try to cope, and you want to control the mind. Why would you judge the mind? Don't judge your mind. Bad news. Don't positive, negative your mind. It's not a battery. And then you judge your mind. I'm strong. When you're weak, what happens? Judgment. And then what happens? You put your hands on things you don't want to. Sugar, alcohol, cocaine, marijuana. That was me. Because I hated myself. Why? Okay, and if I'm eating bad, if I'm drinking, if I'm smoking, I'm not going to like myself. And then what happens is you have bad patient experiences. 2.5, let's call it 2.5. I almost lost my job because my patient experiences are so bad. Because I was judging myself, judging patients. If I'm mean to myself, why wouldn't I be mean to somebody else? Communication with empathy. What happens then? What happens when you can inspire from a life experience? Why would you call it trauma? It's a life experience that you have not inspired from it. Simple. Rational and emotive behavioral therapy is a dialect. It's not hard. Don't hang out with people who blame. Don't hang out with people who say it's hard. It's not hard. You're making it hard. And then what happens is when you're empathetic, what happens is you can accept your emotions, you can overcome your thoughts, and you can ask, by golly, why is it that I'm doing that? Why did I do this? Then you have great patient experiences, don't get burnt out, major depressive disorder, solid, almost committed suicide. But you gotta get past this. And then you have a calling. What you see right there is the manufactured image. Stories of Pain is a rap album. I have 20 songs on the album. There's 17 rap tracks, and there are 3 interludes. My dad, my mom, my brother, and me. We never had a family dinner together. We never went to a restaurant together. But there's one thing common amongst all of us, is that we hated ourselves. Who here served our country? Thank you for your service to our country. If it wasn't for people like you, I would be standing here taking it. I wouldn't be able to drink my coffee in the morning and get to enjoy the event that Charlene set up for us. Thank you. And my parents could not live the American dream for me. I grew up in Juneau, born to immigrant parents from South India. Growing up, I had an intimate relationship with domestic violence shelters, child protective services, Juneau police, and Child Protective Services. What happens is that my mom goes on to live with schizophrenia for 27 years, 16 years in lockdown, 9 years step down. We would live together for the last 7 years of her life after I took her out of a psychiatric facility. And then what happens is that we married, we lived together. She showed me compassion. She never, ever said that I'm compassionate to you. And then what happens is that my brother, like this. That's the imprint on the floor. He's dead for 17 days. Alcohol and methamphetamines, 48. My dad would go on to live with narcissistic personality disorder and die alone. What happened to me? Well, 7th grade, I'm going to Seattle now. 1996, cold, dreary, August, Seattle day. I'm about to go away to jail for the 3rd time. Luckily, I never did anything violent. I am standing outside of the courtroom, take my pack of cigarettes out, 17 years old, man, I'm cool, right? I'm about to go away to jail 3rd time. I got hook credibility. Cigarette. As I blow out the cigarette smoke, my dad, my grandmother, a couple people show up from India, walking into the courtroom, white walls, orange jumpsuit waiting for me, nothing new. I'm about to go away 6 months. My dad is standing to the right of me. My grandmother is behind me. And the judge is in front of me. And my dad goes, Your Honor, my son, he's a thief, he's a vagabond, he's a criminal. But I'll show him the way, Your Honor. I'll take him to India. I'll show him the relentless pursuit of truth. My grandmother's behind me in Banbaro, India. Yak, America, come to India, you're ruining your life in America. And the judge looks at me, son, this ain't your first rodeo. What makes you think you're going to change? What happens? I go to India. To be cool in Seattle in 1996, cold, Seattle day, what happens is that, what's that, dog? Mate got 5 on the 20 sack? Blood half of the year, I was a Crip the other half of the year. But in India, you got to study to be school, so I got 7 scholarships in the medical school. But let me tell you how that further drowned my low self-esteem and self-hatred. Do you guys remember these guys who had your back? Yeah? They stood up for you, they said something to you. Deepak Sharma, 7 times, stabbed to death, beat somebody up for me. Josh Morgan, 21, mental health episode, punched a cop, he died, got hit over the head with a baton. Another one of my friends, 2 years, he was in prison for 2 years. Meth and alcohol. I was wannabe OG. I would have done that with him. But today, guess what? I'm serving at the same I'm speaking inspirationally to the same juvenile detention center that I was locked up at, and to show the world that I can show compassion and empathy to myself, I worked at Stafford Creek Corrections as a prison doctor for 6 months. The most compassionate environment I've ever worked in that I'll talk about. You're 3 steps away from going to jail. I was just like a half a step away each time. On the left, medical school residency was a drug. What happened when that drug was gone? Well, I had to find other drugs. 60 pounds overweight, 12 years ago. What happened to the guy in the middle? Remember, what is overconfidence proportional to? That is right, low self-esteem. People are interruptive, loud, dismissive, overconfident, low self-esteem. That was me. What happens is that I'm walking in from the primary care area to the urgent care area, lights are bright, a little fuzzy. My medical director is sitting across from me, and he goes, "We're worried." At this time, I was officially burnt out, 17 patients a day, drinking 17 drinks every other day, buying cocaine. I did it for 5 months. Buying cocaine for 5 months, and I was trying to fix my thoughts, overcome who I was, because remember that boy, it may not apply to you, but it may apply to somebody who might be committing suicide, who might think about it. Talk to them. Go away to rehab. My mentor who helped me is right here. On the other line with my medical director, put me into the Washington Physician Health Program, which is a drug monitoring program, and I graduated that. I've been sober for 5.5 years, lost 60 pounds, I'm not in gambling debt anymore, and number one thing, I don't hate myself. How about that? Are you guys, thank you, I didn't know this was gonna happen this quick. Oh my God, to what do I owe this pleasure? Let me take you on a journey from how I went here to there. When I talk about all I do is work, can we play? When I talk about all I do is work, I mean I'm working on myself. I'm working on myself to see why is it that I'm judging myself? Why is it that I had bad patient experiences? Why is it now that I have over 300 patient experience ratings that are over 95% positive? Well, all I do is work. 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 Woo! All I do is work. Yes, I've been ranting, rapping on my ID, check it, ain't no second guessing for the land out hill. Little Caesar pizza, pull up nice to meet you. What's the grams you need? Throw it on the scale. Mama crying, dying, cause she can't deny it. Her baby boy might need some bail. Still foreign cars, expensive tails. That the Dhruva MD would've thought I failed, cause I told him to shark the sickle cell. To the day my moms came to that jail and I knew it. Since I made that up and blew it. Trade job summer, we had to get to it. Stomach to my bath, I'm a nice, can't do it. Looking back now, I wish I could do it. 7 years strong and it didn't take long. Even permanent marks on my life's influence. This for the mamas that grind to the fullest. Raising up beasts, never raised no bullies. Look at the game and what it did to me. Ready to boogie that thing in my hoodie. Stick on my side like my name was Woody. Dang it, you do, dang it, Woody. All this work won't pay good to me. Yeah. All I do is work. Learned to hustle from my moms. Overtime work, she overslept and lost her jobs. Minimum wage on them food stamps as I run for the cops. Somatic motor neurons, RIP, that pain is gone. Try to get them bills paid off, try to pop off, not get laid off. Busy never tired, yes, good, yes, yeah. Busy never tired, yes, good, yes, yeah. Whew. All I do is work. All I do is work. All I do is work. All I do is work.
Thank you for taking time. This is great. I'm asking you guys to engage you guys a couple questions, okay? What profession has the highest suicide rate in our country? Physicians, healthcare, psychiatrists. Does anybody know what patients want from healthcare providers? I don't have to have my brain working at maximum capacity to say a patient wants to be communicated empathetically. Can anybody here tell me how much it costs when a physician almost commits suicide? What is the saying? Don't everybody speak at once. $1 million, recruitment, bonuses, stuff like that. $4 billion a year, $10 million a day, $400,000 an hour on medical lawsuits because I communicate with myself with judgment. I judge myself. Can you believe that person did that? Shame on them. Blaming others. Victim mindset. Having things, red space in your head for free. Gosh darn it, why don't you want to release the equity in your mind? Mind hygiene. If there's one thing you guys take away from this, whatever I'm saying may not work for you. Whatever I do today may not resonate with you, may not be in that lane, but don't think about it. Don't talk to anybody, especially those victim brain. Find people who are solution-driven, like an NGPX, and then what? Your thoughts become black and white. Ace your life with mind hygiene. Accept your awareness, communicate your compassion, and embrace your empathy. When I say mind hygiene, what do you guys think about it? What do you guys think? Clean, hygienically treat your mind. Well, what is mind hygiene based on? It's based on my years in cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy, eye-movement desensitization, reprocessing therapy, rational emotive behavioral therapy, mindfulness cognitive therapy. I have a certification in mindfulness-based stress reduction, and I have a life coach certification. But guess what? It's based on my journey from self-hate to self-love. How did he do it? Again, it may not work for you. Ace your life with mind hygiene. Remember that one time you judged yourself, you didn't like what you did, and then somebody found out they would not like you. Ace your life with mind hygiene. Accept your awareness, communicate your compassion, and embrace your empathy. Look at this poor little boy. He's about to go away to jail for the 3rd time. Accept that he's hurting inside. Accept that he doesn't like himself. Accept that he has low self-esteem, self-hatred, low confidence, but on the outside, what's happening? Hey, homie, man, you gonna kick it in the hood or what? Got it blunt? But on the outside, 7 scholarships in medical school, man, I'm a doctor now. Overconfidence, directly proportional to low self-esteem. But accept that, communicate with yourself compassionately. Why do you say you hate yourself? Don't judge yourself, that's rude. Communicate compassionately because you're taking time to understand yourself. Embrace your empathy. Maybe nobody taught you better. My dad saw both of his sisters die. Savitri, Saraswati, died at 5. Her dad, something happened, and we don't know. Something happened and her dad killed her. And then her older sister was beaten to death in front of my dad. He hasn't empathized with himself. Well, first I gotta forgive myself, and maybe I can enter that state of forgiving others. Ace your life with mind hygiene, accept your awareness, communicate your compassion, and embrace your empathy. I'm sitting outside Friday night. I am resenting, judging, blaming on my cell phone, stomach out, cigarettes, alcohol, marijuana. No cocaine at that time. And I'm depressed. There is evidence that supports that mindfulness-based cognitive behavioral therapy, which mind hygiene is based on, is superior to pharmacotherapy. There was a study that was conducted at the University of Oxford in England, Department of Psychiatry, which compared the efficacy of mindfulness-based cognitive therapy in the prevention of depressive relapse. What happened was that they were followed for up to 60 weeks, and mindfulness-based cognitive behavioral therapy was not only comparable, but superior. To date, I am your personal trainer. Whatever I'm saying may not work for you. But if you want to lose weight, what do? You got to do it all the time. The morning you wake up. Mind hygiene. You do it more often. Oh, you only go walk up the stairs. Oh, condition your mind. When I go home, I'll eat some protein. That was a pound. You got to condition your mind. I'm a personal trainer. Whatever I'm saying may not work for you, but don't forgive anybody else. You got to forgive yourself. And then you can accept your awareness, communicate your compassion, and embrace yourself empathetically. Then it doesn't become hard. Then you can soften the process. It is a part of your intelligence. Anybody here watch Sadhguru? Who knows Sadhguru? No subject, that's it? Mm-hmm. What did he say? You know, these ants in the forest, they're smarter than humans. Hello? He's not just yet. You guys not gonna get that thing. You don't know who he is. Like I'm saying, I'm your personal trainer. When you do something all the time, you get used to it. This doesn't always work for you. It's like a 90%, 10%. And that's the best part, because you know how long it takes. I have to serve. I was single for 4 years, and then I was single for another 2 years. I took time to heal myself before I had to love you. Ask you this. If everybody loved everybody, why would they hate other people? Why would they get bad patient experiences then? They wouldn't be burnt out. They don't have a purpose. What is another phrase for burnout? I've lost my purpose. Don't struggle with it, it's your intelligence. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys, has anybody been inspired from this? Anybody inspired? Yeah, so thank you. What I'm going to ask you guys to do, is you can find me later, you can scan this QR code, and I would like a 90-second coaching session from you. There's a free ebook that you can get. If you don't want to get it, that's fine, you can skip it, but I'm going to ask you guys to do something, okay? Can everybody stand up? We're bored, we're sitting down, come on, please. I came here from Seattle, I've practiced this so many times. So many times, it guilts you, okay? All right, can we play? Here's what we're going to do. These are the learning objectives. Ready? When I say mind hygiene, you say that's the goal. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Not loud. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. I came a long way. That's the goal. Woo! Straight up. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Be vulnerable, that's the goal. Embellish your empathy so your patients trust you. That's the goal. Now, D, that's the goal. Be vulnerable, that's the goal. Embellish your empathy so your patients trust you. That's the goal. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. I came a long way. That's the goal. Woo, 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 woo. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Mind hygiene. Woo. Straight up, straight up, straight up. Speak your heart with empathy aloud. Speak your heart and let the patient down. Mind hygiene with empathy around. Emotionally. Freeing the clouds, don't judge yourself. Always in doubt, this is how your doctors burn out. Mind hygiene is something like a crown. Crown yourself and let yourself down. Has there ever been a time you judge yourself? Try to let go, but nothing helps. Waking, drugs, stay, money drain, sleep pain. Feels like you don't even love yourself. Well, I've been that low, let me let you know. Dr. Gulur, man, I learned to grow with mind hygiene. I'll be a keynote. And the patients that give you 95% scout. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Be vulnerable, that's the goal. Embellish your empathy so your patients trust you. That's the goal. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Be vulnerable, that's the goal. Embellish your empathy so your patients trust you. That's the goal. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. See the lights preparing? That's the goal. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Woo, 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 woo. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Mind hygiene, that's the goal. Woo. Straight up, straight up, straight up. Thank you. And thank you, Todd. Todd saved my life, and he's here. 8 years. He helped me. He helped me become sober.
Where's Todd?
Todd's right here. Oh my goodness.